Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Unschooling Lifestyle session two, or video number two, about human design and unschooling. As the first video, if you watch our first video, I talked about human design and what my class. So I'm kind of like in the middle of it, and uh, so much learning has happened in the last couple of weeks, and so many things that have made sense and kind of have helped in many different ways. But I thought the best way I could do this was by sharing with you my screen, and then I'll share my chart with you. So let me just do this. Okay, so this is my chart. And there are many different websites that you can get your chart from. But I wanted to talk on just some things that kind of became a little bit more clear to me. And in some charts, this little triangles will show white. And in this one's they're in this side they are black. But what this means is that they are open. So my head is completely open. And I laugh because it's completely open. So there's open and undefined. And not to get too technical here, but open means, I think, that no channels. These are like channels or gates are activated. So this one's completely open. My ego is completely open. In my identity, it's undefined. So they're still open. And the way Aaron explained it, and it made so much sense, means that when they're open, I receive, right? So it's like receivers, and you transmit when they are defined. So this is like you send something out. In this one's, I get, I'm open to receive whatever's around me, my environment, but this one is about ideas. So obviously the head is a pressure point as well. So by being open, I tend to get excited by other people's ideas, and then I think they're my own. And that is so true. Like when I'm at the airport, obviously there's like thousands of people, so I get all of their ideas. I think the last time I was at the airport, I thought about this idea of having like a quiet pod. They have those like working pods, for you to go in there and have some quiet time on your computer. But there's just like everyone should have like a being away from people type of pod, and it really made me think of other things though. But I'm just gonna I'm trying to say a point here. So this is my open head, so and some of the wisdom of this is just to know which ideas are mine and which ones I want to put my energy in, right? And then this is my identity, and this was like, oh, I think I almost cried when I heard this. Like it felt so powerful, because this is about me searching constantly. And the way she put it was that, like being in the shadow was like searching who I am supposed to be, versus being in the wisdom, which is just like she said, surrender, and then that today I get to be a person that, super interested in human design, and I've been diving deep into all of this. And then tomorrow I get to be a person that's, that's listening to other people and just supporting in different ways. So those two pieces in the ideas and then the identity about searching, it feels so true, because I feel like my whole life I'm like, what am I supposed to do, and I just want to be in love with something, but I know my multi-passionate personality is just, it's I love it for specific reasons. It just has helped me grow so much. But this one about surrendering to what feels right, and then following my authority, which is like emotional. So I have to let my emotions come in and then just wait for clarity when I make big decisions. This other one, the open ego, this is like a motor center, so it's about energy. So sometimes in this one, I feel like I have to run with it, And I'm still learning about this, but what I did learn was that sometimes, like, the example that was given was like some motivational speakers will have this defined ego. So it's like you have this like massive energy that you're put out. So when people are in their presence, like, you ever felt like, you're in a conference and someone's speaking and they're like, yes, I can do this. And then you're like, you go home and and then it doesn't really feel like that. So that was kind of like, that was the example that they gave, and it just made so much sense, right? Because I've been in those places, I've been in those conferences before where I was like, I felt so excited, but I was like discouraged when I moved away from that energy. So so it just made sense. But I think another piece that was mentioned was about um the energy that comes through the ego. Is like, it ebbs and flows, so that's okay. And being more comfortable with all of my ebbs and flows has been a huge piece. So yes. uh as far as unschooling, I have found human design to be really powerful, because I'm not using it as a this is it type of knowledge. Like, I'm using it as a, does this feel right? Does this is it helpful for us? Is it helpful for other people? And so far, all of the help that I have done in terms of supporting other people with unschooling and human design, it really has felt like right. Without being like, nah, I don't know. Like, if you don't believe in it, or if you're not ready for it, then that's totally okay though. You don't have to. It has no one is I would love for you to give it a try, but if you're not ready for it, it's totally okay. But one of the pieces that I have found extremely powerful, and is the emotional center, the solar plexus. So this is the solar plexus, and if you notice, mine is shaded with this brown color. What that means is my solar plexus is defined, which means I put out emotions. So, and this is, I don't even know why I'm getting emotional here, but obviously I put out emotions, right? But what's important, this piece what the most important piece in this part is that if your child has an open solar plexus, like no color or white, means that your emotions, good or bad, are amplified by them, by their solar plexus. So when I was feeling, when I had emotions that were like in the stressful or something, or negative for whatever reason, I could tell that my son would feel them, but I didn't know how much they were amplified by. So it's and then there's this piece, and then I'm going to show you what I did here. I'm going to show you. I started a forum on my website. So this is the Unschooling Lifestyle. If you would like to subscribe and be a member, I would be very excited to have you and share with you this journey. So this is our forum, right? And in our forum, I have started to put out categories. So I have unschooling, human design, inner work, and spirituality. This is my unschooling diary. It's really not available for people to see, but I'm just kind of like adding some stuff there. So in the human design aspect, I have human design general, I have generators, manifestors, manifesting generators, projectors, and reflectors. I'm slowly adding resources here, but what I wanted to show you, it was this one. So there is open and undefined solar plexus. These are questions by Ra Urahu, which was the person whose mind and voice were used to give out this knowledge. This is a post about Erin Claire Jones. She's my teacher, my mentor, who I'm taking a class with right at the moment. And but in this one, in this open and undefined solar plexus, there are some small short videos or short audios, I think, about Ra explaining the power of the open solar plexus. So, and this is a picture, a very, just a screenshot, but it doesn't have any channels or anything. But this is the chart of my son, my oldest son, and you can see that his solar plexus is undefined, right? So like I said, so an undefined solar plexus receives and amplifies, and then a defined solar plexus, I put out the information. So having those two connections, even if you don't want to hurt or learn anything about human design, knowing where your status is on that, and the one of your children is really, I feel like it's such a powerful thing. And in this short little video or audio, Ra tells you like how that impacts, in his own words, right? Obviously they're more refined than mine, but I encourage you to just kind of check it out though, because it really talks about, if we don't know that, or sometimes I remember when I was upset or something that it had nothing to do with my son, but he would say, is this something that I did? And I'm like, no, it's not. So learning this piece has been really important, because I can say, if I have a wave of emotions that I'm down for whatever reason, and sometimes there really isn't a reason at all, I just don't feel, into the happy-go-lucky place that I like to be, right? So I have to be mindful and say, this is about me. It isn't about you. Because what happens is that our children can internalize that what they're doing, their presence is causing my emotions to be down. So therefore, it's like, I'm doing this to her, which is, you think like, no, that's not, but they feel it. And if you are open enough to say, hey, this isn't about you, this is about me, recognizing that, I think is just a powerful step into letting them know that they're, that you have these emotions, and that having those moments are okay, because they're not permanent, right? So, okay, so I showed you that. So this is in the forum again, and then you can go back to the categories. It's going to be under human design and the general category. All right, so now let's go back to my chart, and I think that's it right now, actually. I think that's all I wanted to share. So basically about the open and undefined centers and the defined centers. So all of these are, defined, which means sometimes, I put out stuff, my intuition is still here in the spleen, all of ours. And, I don't know. So what else? I think it was talking. Yeah, let me share a little bit piece about the profile. So the profile is, it's based on the planets, and there is like, so here is the earth, and this is the sun, and this side right here, so the black, the side on the right, it's going to be conscious, and then this is going to be a little bit more unconscious. In other websites, you'll see it as a list, and then the profile is made out of this number. So this is the sun right here, so this is the decimal after the first number. This is the 59 sun, and then here is the 6. This is the sun on the unconscious side. That's what's at the bottom. If you see this fraction looking number over here, so this is my 6. I'm a 4-6. What that means? Oh my God. Okay, so this 4-6, it's about, my 4 is about community, and I've always known that, because I have always had this idea, right here, my open head, that I am a dot connector. And I know currently in my work, that's kind of what I do. I talk to people, I listen to what they have to say, what are their like, their ideas and stuff like that. And then I kind of break them down into like tangible pieces of action based on what they want to do. But I know that one of the pieces that has been a really interesting part is that I get to connect them with other people that they could either help, or someone else could help them in different ways. So I'm kind of like in the middleman almost, but with a purpose, right? I guess. So that's the 4. So community is important to me, and I think that's why I have felt a little off with social media, just like randomly like putting stuff out. It has to be either really meaningful to me as well in order for me to like use my energy to put it out on social media. So as much as I would like sometimes to be out there, it just feels like you're sending out stuff into I don't know, into this like big space. So the 6, I'm not so familiar with that yet, but I know it's about the big picture. So it's a little bit about how being a mentor and being I think it's like being a mentor or something like that. So don't quote me on that, but I just wanted to share that I'm really working on this 4 piece and finding out what works, because it's the more conscious aspect of it. But I think they both really work together, so yeah. So community is kind of like, it's big, but we had a chat last week on our class, and this is one of the things that I love about the class is like the people's sharing, like what they share about whatever topic is being covered. It's probably has been so impactful in so many ways, so I'm really happy to learn their experiences and from their experiences. But something that everyone said in the 4 aspect is that the struggle was that finding the community that you felt seen in. And I feel like that community, at least for me in terms of human design and unschooling, it's kind of small, but I love when I'm around them, right? So I get so energized by being around them, but it is pretty small. But the other aspect is that sharing with my community has been a little bit harder because of some stuff that happened when I was like growing up and stuff, and I felt unseen, or I felt that my message wasn't being received well. And so it's been kind of like like having to clear those memories and those feelings of feeling that whatever your message is just not it's not good at nor not worth it, right? But I feel like, the message of unschooling or just as human design is like it resonates when you're ready, and we will be here to support you either at whatever time, aspect of your journey, whatever time. So, what else? I think, so that's it. I think I'll probably try to learn more about the 6, and then I'll share this on our last video as I, get towards the end of the class. All right, so I'll just stop sharing right now. Okay, so hope that wasn't a lot. I feel like it always is though. But anyway, so yes, if you have no desire to learn about human design, it's totally okay. But please, if you are watching this video and if you made it this far, just find out what about your emotional center, because often if we as parents are struggle and you have a defined solar plexus like I do, whatever struggles we have, we are given out into the world, but we are given out into our home. And if your child has an open one, then they are receiving that. And it really isn't theirs. It's not their emotions, right? But they receive it and then they like exponentially amplify it. So just find that peace. I'll do it for you. If you don't want it, if you want like nothing to do with it, I'm like, let me just find that peace for you. So, which is kind of where we're at. So at the Unschooling Lifestyle, I posted some of our services. We have unschooling coaching, we have unschooling workshops for like larger groups and stuff like that. If you would like to learn more or ask more questions in a larger group setting, which I love. So if you have an opportunity and you're like, we think we might want to learn something, let me know. I would love to be part of it. So, but we have most of our, so the human design piece is part of how I do unschooling support. So if you're transitioning into unschooling, I think finding human design could be a great foundation. It's not a rigid, like, you're this, you're that, this is how you're supposed to do it. It's of, if it feels right, if you've noticed, would you like to try it and experiment? I feel like it's the way we have taken it into our life. We have experimented with and find out what works for you. You may move away from, from your type or whatever, but like I said, most people that I have talked to, they, it's like little pieces, right? And as I said before, there isn't a manual to be a parent, but there are tools. And I really, really love this one. So that's kind of the way we approach, unschooling as we have moved into this journey. Ultimately, it is really what feels right for you. So I am just here as a sounding board, which I have found that's something I like to do, and I feel like I'm good at it. So if you would like to schedule or book a session, just let us know through our website. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, we would appreciate having you here and sharing this video if it felt helpful to you, or you may find it helpful, that it could be helpful for other people. So yes, thank you so very much for being here. Please remember that your time is precious. I hope you're making it count. See you soon. Bye.